Today I want to demonstrate for you the most exciting thing that's happened to Medisoft and Lytec in the last 20 years. And it's called Medisoft Mobile, or if you're using Lytec, it's called Lytec Mobile. But the application is exactly the same. And what the mobile applications are is the ability to use Medisoft and or Lytec on your iDevice, meaning your iPhone, your iPad mini, or your iPod Touch. I'm using an iPad mini, and if you look down towards the bottom, you'll actually see an icon there that says Medisoft right on the front screen of my iPad. So to use it, I simply double click the Medisoft icon with my fingertip, and that launches the Medisoft application. I can put in my password for my mobile app, and it brings up the application itself. So what I'm looking at here is the current schedule, today's schedule, which I see in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Today's the 21st, but I want to go back to the 18th, so I simply tap that day, and it pulls my schedule right out of office hours for the 18th. So all the scheduling is done in office hours or in Lytec, and that comes over automatically to your mobile application. It keeps all of the notes, all of the reason codes, all of the color coding is exactly the same, so you know what type of patient it is that's coming in. To use the application, I simply tap on the patient's name on the schedule. So I'm going to go here to my 9 o'clock and type on Dwight's name. And when I do, you'll notice on the lower left side, under the button that says Enter Charges, his name shows up there, his copay shows up, the guarantor balance, the insurance carrier, referring provider, the reason why the patient's coming in to see us today, and any notes that were entered into the schedule for that patient. So the way that I enter charges is by simply clicking the button that says Enter Charges, and it pulls up my electronic super bill for this patient. So we see here at the top all of the patient's demographic and insurance information, and then down below it we see my electronic super bill. This is the way the super bill comes out of the box. It can be customized. I can add procedure codes here. I can add as many diagnosis codes. I can add as many of these boxes and codes as I wish. And to select them, I simply take my finger and I just scroll up and down through the iPad app, and then I'm just going to simply choose my charges. I'll choose my office visit code. I can come over here on the left and I can choose a diagnosis code or diagnosis codes, as many as I want. And I can put in patient education materials. I can put in any notes I want to go on the bill as well. But one of the other great things that comes with Medisoft 18 and Lytec 2013 is free electronic prescribing. So we see there on the right side a link to the e-prescribing module. It's web-based as well. So to write a prescription for this patient, I simply click the ERX button, and that's going to take me right to the McKesson Relay Health website where I can input my username and ID or password. That's going to take me to the website. I can select the patient there, the medication, and the pharmacy with a click of a button, send that prescription right to the pharmacy. I don't have a username and password for the e-prescribing site, so I'm not going to be able to show you that, but it is interfaced to Medisoft and Lytec, meaning that all the patient's demographic information automatically uploads, so you don't have to enter that twice. I'm going to jump back to Medisoft Mobile simply by clicking the application. For security reasons, I've got to put in my PIN, but it takes me right back to where it was when I left. And if I'm okay with everything that I've put in here, I simply click the Submit button, and that gives me the chance to review these charges before they're sent to Medisoft. I can add modifiers here if I wish. I can change the provider or the patient. Whatever I wish to do, I can do right here on this screen. But if I'm okay with everything, I simply click the Confirm button, and then that information is sent over to Medisoft, and it's posted into an area called Unprocessed Transactions. But the key here is I don't have to wait for this super bill or this paper encounter form to get to the billing office. It's there automatically. I don't have to worry about somebody keying that into the software. I don't have to worry about somebody making a mistake or entering the wrong charges. It's all already in the software. Of course, the professional billing staff can then edit that before it's posted, and I'll show you that in just a second. I've got my iPad in the portrait mode, but just like any iPad or iPod device, I can turn it and I can switch it to the landscape mode if I find that to be more convenient. So I'm just turning that back, and let me jump out of here and jump over into Medisoft and show you what it looks like when we get in there. Okay, so we just saw how we submit charges to Medisoft or Lytec using the iPad application, the Medisoft Mobile. But what happens when they get to Medisoft or Lytec? Well, what's one of the great benefits of this application is that you don't have to wait for that piece of paper to get from the provider to the billing office. It's done automatically. It's done instantaneously. And as we mentioned a little while ago, we don't have to worry about any data entry errors. It all comes in automatically. However, the billing professionals still have the opportunity to take a look at it and edit it if they wish before it is actually posted into the application. So I'm looking at my Medisoft again here, but the same thing is true in Lytec. I go to the Activities menu, and you'll notice about 1/3 the way down there's an option here that says Unprocessed Transaction, Unprocessed EMR Charges. In this case, it's not coming from the EMR, it's coming from the mobile application, but this is where they go. So if I click that, I see all of my unprocessed charges in here, and right now I'm sorting them by patient name, but you'll notice down towards the bottom that I've got a scroll bar, and I can drag that to the right, and I can see all the information about these unprocessed charges. I can review them right here, and I can do one of a couple of things. I can delete them. If I'm okay with them, I can simply click the post button, and those charges are posted. But if I want to come in and edit them, I can simply double click the line that I wish to edit, or I can put a check mark in it and hit the edit button down here. I'm just going to double click it, and when I do, it opens up my unprocessed transaction information screen. And if you're using Medisoft now, this should look very familiar to you. It looks just like the transaction screen, but I can come in here and I can modify my procedure if I wish. I can manually type it. I can select it off of a list. I can add a diagnosis, another procedure modifier. You can change it any way that you wish, and once you're done, you can simply click the post button, and then that charge is automatically posted into Medisoft and is ready for billing. It's that simple and that easy using the Medisoft Mobile and the Lytec Mobile application.